Hello you awesome people, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we will learn CSV file handling with PowerShell. But before we begin, I want to show you something. So I was just checking these statistics today and looks like 95.5% people watch the video but choose to not subscribe the channel. This number is little disheartening because I do not know where things are going wrong. So I would request you to subscribe to my channel, but if you choose not to, if you could please tell me in the comment section what is the reason why you do not want to subscribe, it will be a great help because learning from your feedback, I'll try to improvise the content and then we'll hope this number change because it is really bad, right? Yes? Alright. CSV or comma separated values file format is a very popular format for managing your data. And according to me, the main reason behind its popularity is that it is very human friendly. You can read your CSV file and understand the data very easily, as well as because it is structured data, it is very easy for the programs to parse the information and make use of it. I am creating a simple file. I am naming it as sample.csv and accept this prompt, and that's it. We have created our first CSV file. Let me open this file in Notepad and let's add some data to it. Say there we go. We have created this data, and in this each new record has to be in new line. So if you want to add more record, say I have added some more data to this file. One benefit of CSV file is we can open it in a text editor and edit the data, as well as we can open it inside Microsoft Excel. As you can see, the data is structured. On this data, you can apply your Excel knowledge and do whatever formatting that you want to do or data manipulation you want to do. You can just treat this as a Excel file. It is just that in the end, you will have to save it as a Excel file and not as a CSV, because with CSV, you will lose everything else except this data. Alright. So we have seen the use cases in which CSV proves to be a very human-friendly format for storing the data. You might be wondering why this data needs to be handled with the help of PowerShell when Excel is doing its job nicely, right? It is very neat and clean and we can pretty much do anything with the help of Excel only. Why should I be bothered about writing PowerShell statements for this? Let's understand this. So there are two systems that needs to interact with each other. One software you are using for handling daily sales at the counter, and this software needs to send the daily sales data to the centralized system. It may be slightly difficult to grasp, but in the real time, these could be millions of rows. I have myself seen 30 GB of CSV file. It was pretty shocking for me. Okay. So this data needs to be sent to the centralized system. Because there are two different softwares involved, it is quite possible that the output of software 1 is not perfectly aligned with software 2. This software 2 needs data in a certain format. Now what you will do? Every time this software sends a business data file, you will open it in Excel, make the change and place it for consumption by software 2. Not very practical, right? You want to design this system in such a way that things happens in the real time. Well, this is where you need PowerShell to handle the CSV data, which can help you make those changes in the CSV file and then you can make use of it. This is just one example, alright? There are many more use cases in which PowerShell is very helpful in managing your CSV files. It is right time to open our PowerShell ISC and start exploring how we can handle CSV files with the help of PowerShell. So I'm opening this in my ISC itself, and here I'll write the code. So we want to read this file. I'm at the same location where CSV file is there. Okay, so get content sample.csv and execute this. With this simple statement, we have successfully read the content written in the sample.csv file inside our PowerShell. While you can work this way also, you can perform all different operations that you want to do on this content you have read, and then you can also choose to export it to another file. All of that is possible, but this is like if I give you a bread, you grind it and convert it into flour and then make another bread out of it. Doesn't make any sense, right? This is a CSV file written in a particular format, and PowerShell has provided us with the commandlets to handle CSV data. Then it is a very bad idea to treat this data as a raw text. So instead of doing this, let's make smart use of this structured data. So I'll just remove this and I'll say import CSV. And what is the name of CSV? Sample. I pressed tab and this is the name. So I'll execute this. I need not to say what the difference is. You can clearly see with your eyes. This time we have imported the data correctly. Let me store this in a variable called data and execute it again. And now I want to see what is the type of this data. So get type, hit enter. This is an array. Okay. And what this array contains? I'll say take one element out and get me its type. It is PS custom object. Okay. So our data is an array of PS custom objects. What this means is this entire thing is stored as an array in which each record is one PS custom object. Before we continue in this lecture and start making changes on this data object, let me just tell you the previous command that we used, right? Get content sample.csv. If you are reading your CSV file like this, world has not ended for you. You can still convert it to CSV like this. Okay. And now if you store this data in another variable, say data2 equals to get this thing, and then see data2 dot get type, it is again an array. So what this means is data and data2 objects hold same data. There is no difference. Awesome. Now I'll clear my screen as well as get rid of this statement. Because we know data is an array, I can always do stuff like this, right? I just want the first row, so data 0. I want first 3 records. I'll say four records, so data 0 dot dot 3, and I'll get this data 1. And if I just execute this, I'll get last 3 records, right? So all different array operations are possible on this data object. Let's say we want to see only those records where salary grade starts with A. So I'll just put the requirement here. We can write it like this. So $data is my object, and I want those records where object, then I have to use curly braces and I'll put it this way. I want to see the current item, and in this I want salary grade, and we have to specify the condition here. What is that? It must be like A and then wildcard. So any record that starts with A, be it Vijay, Mark or David, all 3 should fall in this category, right? Let me execute this, and there we go. We have successfully filtered out the required data from this larger set of data, right? Of course, if you have more complicated requirement, let's say you want those employees whose salary grade starts with A, as well as they must belong to department cloud services. So you can put condition like and the current item I want to access, and I want to see their department should be like CS, and execute this. In this case, only this record satisfy both these requirements, so only this is appearing over here, means our filter condition is working perfectly fine, right? Use your knowledge of writing conditional statements and I'm sure you will be able to fetch exactly those records which you want with the help of PowerShell statement like this. Okay, moving on. This time my requirement is such: company has changed the slab, so wherever you see salary grade starting with A, we have to say high, and wherever it is with B, we have to say low salary grade. Let's categorize it like this. So what I will do is data, and this time I'll use for each object because I want to process the data, right, one by one. And what is that condition? So condition is I want to first get hold of salary grade column of each record and then want to compare it like this. So if it starts with A, salary grade is equals to high. If it starts with B, then I'll say medium, let's say, right? Okay, let's execute this statement. And now if we see our data, you can see it is categorized differently. All those whose grade starts with A are in high category, whereas others are in medium salary grade, right? This way we have successfully modified our CSV data. Cool. Now let's say we want to add another row to this data. How can we do that? Very straightforward. Each record in the array we can access it like this, and if we see its type, it is a PS custom object, right? So the new record that we want to add to this array should be PS custom object, right? I am assigning name as new row to this record, and employee name is new name, role is PowerShell, department is platform, salary grade is low. Oh, why low? No, highest. Okay, fine. So this is the PS custom object that we have created. If I just execute it and just see its type, new get type PS custom object, fine, right? So we are good to add our PS custom object to the original data set like this, simple operation. And if I just execute and now print exp data, you can see the new record is added over here without breaking the structure. Yes. Now because we have learned how to add a new row, it is our responsibility to also know how to add a new column to our CSV data, right? So I'll take this one, and I just want to demonstrate how to add a new column. So I do not want to keep very intelligent requirement as such. I just want to add another column as group, and we'll say sales is not a technical team, but all other teams are technical teams, let's say. Okay, simple, just for reference. Okay, may not be very logical as such. So I want to add a new column here. Let's see how to do this. So we want to process each record, correct? So for this we need for loop, and inside this what we want, if department is sales, so if condition is there, and inside this $_ current item, and what is that I want on this department, right? So department, and like, and it is sales. Then what do we want? We want a new column to be added just like our previous PS custom object. So I'll say, in this case we do not want any hard coded value, but we want to take from the same record, right? So $_dot employee name property we want to read from here, role become role, department become department, salary grade becomes salary grade here. We want to add this record, so there's no change in this except that we want to add this thing, okay? Group equals to okay, if department is sales, I want to say this group is non-technical, and if it is not sales, then same thing I have to repeat, and this time I'll say it is technical. Simple, isn't it? So this is my classification, and then we want to add it to something, right? So I'll say my employees data, okay, and this is an array, as we must know by now, right? And inside this for loop, once this if else part we have fixed, after that plus equals to original data set we want to add this record. Now understand like this, some data is there, on top of it we are writing a for loop, so we can expect every single record to be modified, right? And then inside it there is an if loop which says if the person belongs to sales department, add a new column, this person belongs to non-technical group. Whereas if the person is not from sales department, then else block should get executed, where we have kept group as technical. In both the cases, this record PS custom object will be created. In the end of this for loop, we are adding it to back to our array, right? So let me execute this. And now if I just copy this and paste over here, you can see a new column is added which categorize salespeople as non-technical and all other people as technical. Don't go with this logic. I know salespeople could also be technical, but I'm just keeping it for reference over here. Okay, you want to see this in tabular format, I'll say format table, and yeah, there we go. So this way we have successfully manipulated our data. Awesome. We understand now how we can add a new column. So why not to understand how to remove a column, right? Well, removing a column is even simpler job. So data is there. In this you can always write, I want to see select employee name and maybe just the group, and that's it. So if I execute this, only these two, my bad. My employees data on this I have to say, because data I never modified, right? Okay. So yeah, with the help of this select, or to be more precise, select object commandlet, we can always specify which columns we want to see, right? Storing this data in another variable is no difficult job at all. So this exp data has your required data, right? For now I do not have any such intention, so I'll just say this and $exp data. Great. So in this lecture, first of all, we understood how to filter the data. Essentially that means how we can remove certain rows that we do not want, right? So you can call it delete rows operation also in a way. We understood the replace operation, a certain value that you want to change, how we can do that. Then how to add a new row to our data set, how to add a new column, as well as how to remove a column. We have modified the data a lot, and now let's say result is this. Okay, we want to export it to another CSV file. How we can do that? Well, very easy. Put a pipeline over here, use commandlet export, then what you want to export? CSV, and commandlet is here. Just use it specify the path. What is the path or name you want to give? Results.csv. This is the name I want to give. If you want to create this file at a particular location, you have to specify that location over here. I am fine with the current location. Okay. So let me execute this and go to my location. Results.csv is created. I want to open this file. Our data is available over here, but what this stupid row is doing, I never asked for it, right? Well, very easy. You can get rid of this by saying no type information. I do not want the type of data, right? Execute it again and go here, refresh, and that column is gone. I want to see it in Excel, so I'll just say results, open it in Excel, and there we go. Simple and straightforward, right? Alright, my dear friends, in this lecture we learned how to manipulate CSV data with the help of PowerShell. I am going to provide you this script file for your practice. Well, that's it for this lecture. Take good care of yourself. Thank you.